Hi, I'm JODI PICOULT, and I'm really excited to talk to you about my new novel, The Book of Two Ways. The story starts with Dawn, who is on a plane that is about to crash. As her life flashes in front of her eyes, though, she doesn't imagine her world in Boston with her husband and her daughter and her work as a death doula. Instead, what she imagines is what she left behind 15 years earlier, a career in Egyptology and a man that she loved. When the plane lands, Dawn finds herself at a crossroads. Who would you be if you weren't who you are right now? What if your life had taken a slightly different turn? Do our decisions make us, or do we make our decisions? These are the questions that I really wanted to ask in The Book of Two Ways. The book actually began years ago when my son Kyle was an Egyptology major at Yale, and he came home reading an ancient text called The Book of Two Ways. Without knowing anything about it, I said, that's a really good name for a novel. And then I learned a little bit more. The Book of Two Ways is an ancient Egyptian funerary text that was found in coffins of nobles in the Middle Kingdom of Egypt, in Middle Egypt itself. And what makes it really famous is that it is the first known map of the afterlife. There are two routes, a land route and a water route. And as long as the deceased knew what he needed to get all the way to the end, you could take either path and wind up at the Field of Offerings, which is the ancient Egyptian version of heaven. This is what Dawn is studying in the book. I was really fortunate because I got to go to Egypt with one of the foremost Egyptologists in the United States to go into tombs and to learn everything I needed to know to write this book. But Dawn also has another career in the book. She is a death doula. So I spent a lot of time with death doulas and with hospice professionals learning about end-of-life care. And what I discovered is that we are still asking today the same questions that were asked by the ancient Egyptians 4,000 years ago. How do you have a good death? Well, the answer is still the same. You have a good life. I hope that when you read this book, it makes you think about the path that your life has taken and maybe a few of the paths that it hasn't. Happy reading.